In the beautiful rolling wooded hills of central Pennsylvania, the Paso Fino, a horse breed native to Colombia and Puerto Rico, thrives in the scenic countryside under the careful stewardship of Brenda and Gordon Hall.
When I was a child, one of the TV shows that we were allowed to watch and that we actually got was Walt Disney. And there was a show, Cristobalito, the Calypso Kid, and it was a Paso Fino. And at the time, I probably didn't even realize that it was a Paso Fino, but I saw this beautiful Palomino horse with just extravagant mane and tail and forelock and really smooth gait. And it was a very nice story about the young boy saved the horse and came back at the end and won the show. And later, as I got older, I researched and found out that was Paso Fino. So I dreamed about having a Paso Fino of my own, and they were not available in Pennsylvania. You couldn't find one, didn't know anyone that had one. And the best information I could find at that time was that you had to import one, which was not going to happen, not in our budget. So later, after I was married and on my own, I said, I'm going to have a Paso Fino. So I started research and made a trip to Alabama and Florida, looking at different farms, and found several farms that had some of the qualities that I really felt that we needed to have on our farm, and ended up coming home with a truckload of 8 pregnant mares. So started out looking for one and kind of got out of control.
Say the name Paso Fino, and most people think of the fine, rhythmic gait the horse is known for in the show ring. At Feather Hills, the focus is on developing the Paso Fino for all its inherent versatility, including pleasure riding. Trail riding. Endurance. And just about any other fun activity you can do with a horse, as you will soon see.
At Feather Hills, we have a full-service facility. We have 60 acres. We do boarding, training, breeding. We stand 5 Paso Fino stallions, pleasure and performance. We handle consignments for our clients, and we do lessons. Basically, whatever the client needs, we do our best to provide it. Our facility, we have indoor, outdoor lighted arenas. We have a lot of trails. We're we're set up, we're close to the state forest and state game lands. We have a lot of nice facilities where we can train and take clients out on the trail. We also have some campsites nearby where people can stay. If they have a horse in for training, they can come and stay for a long weekend or a week, or as long as they want to, and work with the trainers and the horses.
Feather Hills is also focused on a strong youth program, offering lessons and instructions to the young and young at heart. They know the youth of today will be the stewards of the breed tomorrow. A solid pleasure horse, one that can be fully enjoyed on the trail or in endurance competitions, should be able to handle anything they might come across on the trail. The training program at Feather Hills is designed to do just that. Get the horse accustomed to just about anything they might encounter on the trail. From campfires to gunfire, to roping, to jumping, to working with strange objects. Even getting used to motorized vehicles at a young age is a part of their hands-on training program. This young filly has just started tarp training, but you'll see that she has both an inquisitive and trusting mind with her trainer, enabling her to be comfortable with what would give many breeds a reason for flight. At Feather Hills, combining solid genetics with a thorough training program has been the key to their success in breeding and training quality Paso Fino horses.
Our training program here at Feather Hill Stables is very comprehensive. My husband takes a very serious approach to training not only the horse physically but mentally, and they are exposed to just so many things. We don't just train in the ring. Yes, we do our round pen work, yes, we do our ring training, but the horses at a very young age are on the trail, crossing water, bridges, metal grate bridges, four-wheelers, motorcycles, traffic of all sorts. And when a horse comes out of our program with 30, 60, 90 days training, they probably have the experience. They have experience comparable to some, 10-year-old, much older horses that come in for training. We're putting out a 3 or 4-year-old that's ready to go out there and do it, and they have the self-confidence to handle these unexpected things when they come up and kind of think their way through it. And it's amazing to me to see a horse, a young horse especially, think their way through a problem without freaking out, without getting you hurt or getting themselves hurt. And this has a lot to do with our training program. It also has a lot to do with our breeding program. But I think that we've brought together the genetics and then the training to give the horses the tools that they need to go out and really be the best Paso Fino or the best horse that they can be.
Feather Hills has a well-developed and well-thought-out breeding program with an emphasis on size and substance as well as color. Their stallions bring a broad selection of desirable traits to their breeding program, such as gait, size, versatility, and solid minds and temperament.
In our breeding program here at Feather Hill, the first thing that I did, I probably spent over a year, maybe 2 years, just on research, genetics, and I had kind of a list of the things that I felt we really needed in our breeding program to be able to market these horses to the local people in Pennsylvania. What were people going to want? And the only thing that I could see as even a possible perceived negative in this breed was the size. The breed can tend to be on the smaller side compared to your thoroughbreds and your quarter horses. Once you get to know the horse and you're riding the horse and you see their momentum and their energy, you forget about that. But in spite of that, our breeding program here at Feather Hill is focused towards the larger size, the larger range of size of the Paso Fino breed. We have some mares that are 15-1 hands, which is a fairly large Paso Fino. We have, as a goal, probably I could say that we try to produce a horse that is the 14-2 to 15 hand range. Other things that are really important to us is a very natural gait. Everyone says that the Paso Fino gait is natural, and it is. It is a genetic gait, but from one bloodline to another, there are a little differences. Some of the gaits are a little easier for your first-time gaited horse owner. We tried to focus on and promote the particular bloodlines that will be born gaiting. They will gait for John Smith that comes off the road, off the street, and he's ridden a quarter horse his whole life and knows nothing about a gaited horse, let alone a Paso Fino, that he can get on this horse and experience the gait in the first 2 seconds. I think that's a very important goal that we have here at Feather Hill, and we've been really pleased with the success of our breeding program and providing the kind of horse that makes a good first-time Paso Fino owner's horse, that makes a good family horse, a good beginner horse. A lot of people are coming to the breed who have either not ridden since they were children, or they gave up riding for an injury, back injuries, leg injuries, hip injuries, all those things that cause us pain later in life and take away our joy of riding. And we've been able to find where a lot of these people can get back on a Paso Fino and they can enjoy riding their horse again. Other things that are important to us in our breeding program at Feather Hill is the mind and the temperament of the horse. We also want a very kind horse, a very easy to manage horse, a horse that is truly a joy to own, a good pet, a good family, again, a good family horse. We also want our horses to be very versatile. We like to produce a horse that is not just strictly slated for the show ring or not just strictly slated for pleasure trail riding. We like to have a horse that gives options for the owner, options to show in pleasure or maybe performance if they want to, or to enjoy some of the local activities of team penning, trail riding, camping, or endurance and competitive trail. And one of the things that I feel is required for Paso Fino to be truly versatile and offer more than just an ability to go into the show ring or breed demonstrations or parades or things like that is a true range of gait. And with our own personal goals for distance riding and competing in competitive trail and things like that, we find that that's a great asset to the horse if they can not only quarto, but they can largo and they can canter and they can gallop and use different muscles as they're traveling 50 miles in a day. They need to be able to rest certain muscles and use other muscles to effectively travel the distance and hold up to it. In addition to the size and the versatility and the range of gait, we have a kind of secondary priority on color. We've tried to build into our program some of the less common colors, pinto, palomino, buckskin, to have these colors without sacrificing the qualities that we're looking for.
When you think of endurance riding, most people are not aware of the exceptional suitability of the Paso Fino for this activity. Yet it possesses many attributes that enable it to perform well in this demanding and rigorous activity. Brenda and her horses have enjoyed much success in competitive trail and endurance competitions, and she finds the Paso Fino is very well suited for this activity.
I find that a good endurance horse needs, for one, to want to work that hard. There's a lot of horses out there that you can ride, regardless of conditioning. You could ride them for an hour and they're done, they're used up. A good endurance horse is going to enjoy the hours that you spend not only conditioning, but the time that you spend competing. And in addition to that, they need to have a good mind for it. You're going to encounter a lot of things on the trail, coming from your surroundings, but also coming from the other horses that are on the trail and the competition. You know, sudden things that come up, other horses out of control. You need a horse that has the mind to handle those types of things and not get upset. You need a horse that can condition aerobically and really come into their fitness.
The Paso Fino has a rich and colorful history. The horses were brought to this continent by the conquistadors, where they played a key role in the conquest of the New World. The agility, strength, and endurance of the horses of the conquistadors lives on today. And while the conquistadors are no longer here, people can enjoy costume presentations and parades, riding in traditional dress, representing the way people may have viewed the conquistadors and their ladies many years ago.
The Paso Fino horse can be traced to Christopher Columbus's second voyage when he came to this country for exploration, and the conquistadors, as they call them, they brought several breeds with them, not then known as Paso Finos, but they brought the Spanish Barb and Andalusian and a few others. And then after they were here, they crossed crossbred the horses that they had available. And the gait actually comes down from the Spanish barb. The 4-beat lateral gait was very dominant and it came through. And they found this gait very comfortable for their long hours in the saddle exploring, and they bred to reproduce it. And eventually we came to the breed known to be the Paso Fino. I love the Paso Fino horse so much because if I couldn't ride a Paso Fino at this point in my life with some lower back injuries, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I really enjoy doing. I wouldn't be able to go out and trail ride all day. I wouldn't be able to go out and do a 50-mile endurance ride. If I had to take the concussion of the trot or I had to post all day, it wouldn't be any fun anymore, and I wouldn't physically be able to take it. So I really love the Paso Fino because it allows me, the smooth gait allows me to continue to enjoy the horses and the riding and the events that I really enjoy participating in.
Brenda and Gordon invite anyone interested in learning more about the broad versatility of the Paso Fino to contact them or attend one of their annual open houses, where you too will discover the Paso Fino, the smoothest gait in the world.